guess what happened, Job? All your kids are dead. And I am the only one who survived it to come back and say it. When you go through the book of Job, you find out that every time he went through a particular situation, somebody survived. Somebody survived to come back and tell the story. This is where our testimony is. Don't think you're going through something and for no reason at all. I want you to follow me, okay? So, yeah. If all of his kids just die, all of a sudden. So, I think that Job had an immediate reaction. Let me give you an example. When I just had baby, 5 days in, new mom. I was feeding Bliss. Her grandma and her auntie was there. And I think what happened is that I gave her too much formula because at that time, the milk take a while for process if it's a C-section, right? And I was giving her formula. And for whatever reason, Bliss started choking. And my immediate reaction was to hand her off to the grandma, because if she's gonna die, she won't die in my lap, in my hand. So her grandma was there, right? And I ran and started bawling. That was my immediate reaction because I trust her grandma. She has experience. She has 3 kids, plus she has raised many. So my trust was in Bliss grandma. That was my immediate reaction. I started bawling. Rachel looked funny, like she want to hush me, and she didn't know for it because it's the first time she ever seen me break down in such a way. So Job's reaction when he heard that his kids were all dead, all 10 kids, just so. And you can imagine the relationship that he had with his children. Come on, bald him head. So to my eyes, and in my opinion, that was an immediate reaction. He's gonna bald his head. And not only did he bald his head, he ripped his clothes. Like him say, okay, this gets serious now. It's wartime. And sometimes when you are preparing for war in the spiritual realm, or even in the emotional realm, anything that is there to hinder you, you want to get rid of it. Think about it. The part that actually, and I'm still on point 2, the point that actually registered to me more is that in the same process, when he bowed his head and he ripped his robe, in my eyes, one of them big name brand code, because I'm rich and a flaunting and a little foolishness him having something that is extremely expensive. And he ripped it off. This part had me. The word of God said he went down on his knees. He went down on his knees, put his face in the ground, got down, and he wept. He wept. If you are a parent, not only a parent, if you have somebody that you love, you cannot tell me that you can't relate to this man. Let me give you another example. This was young, and Jason, they were at the house, and these kids not going anywhere, babies, and they had hand and mouth disease. I don't know where to catch it from. Hand and mouth disease was new to me. It was just sores all over their skin. And when her grandparents found out that was happening, first of all, I didn't know what happened, so I rushed her to the hospital. And the doctor says, there is, based on how young they are, there is nothing that they can do. Both Jason and Bliss, they had to go through the 10-day process. With the itching, the uncomfortableness, the pain that comes with it. They just walk and scratch. I remember Bishop called me one morning, 3 o'clock, and said, I can't sleep. This big man, can't sleep. All I can say is, please, I just want to pray. I just want to pray. I can't do nothing. I used to bawl every night because at that point, she wanted a comfort. and there is nothing that I can possibly do for her. At that point, you want to take the pain for yourself. So the word of God said, Job went down on his knee. Hey, that's a dangerous position. My grandmother used to say, don't let me go down on my knees for you. Now let me start praying for you. So Job got down on his knees for tell you that this one really hit the spot. No pun intended. This one really connected. So he went down on his knees and he bawled. He bawled and then he said, naked I came from my mother's womb. And naked will I return. Not only did he do that, but this man, I think, was a madman. Because he lost all his children. And then what he can say is, the Lord give it and the Lord take it? How on earth? I lost my mom. I lost my dad. I lost the only support system that I have. And I am going to say, the Lord give it and the Lord take it away. I don't know how he did this. I don't know how he did this. But follow me. Point 3. Again, it seems like everything that Job went through, he was always at this spot. And he was chilling again another evening. And 3 of his besties then passed through. Again, I am paraphrasing. Once you read the story, 3 of his besties passed through. And them say, this is what we call support system. But we have different levels of support system. So they passed through and they're like, jeez, understand you're going through a rough time. They mourned with him. Because that's what support system does, right? They empathize with you. Not that some of them probably don't understand what he's going through, but they probably can relate. They can relate. So the word of God says his besties came over and they mourned with him for a few days. But then one day, out of the blues, probably his besties was like a Nardia. And one of the Nardia said, yo, Richard, is something alright? And 3 besties. Yeah, we're talking about support system. So, I know for sure that one of the besties was Nardia. And Nardia went to Rachel and said, yo, something alright in a way. But you can't talk to him. So, Nardia come to Job. And Nardia said, Job, big man thing, how will you do? Because for a man of God, Job, talk truth, man. Job and me, just reason with me. We come from far. Reason with me. What was it that you did? You must have done something. Because if you are serving the God that I serve, there is absolutely no way that you should be going through all of this mess and nothing to reach me. Job, talk truth, man. You do something wrong. You know what? You need to start out yourself, Job. That's what Nardia said to Job. She's a support system. She has always been there. One of Job's best friends. And sometimes, as human, we will listen to our best friends because they have been there with us. You share a lot of stuff with them. But Job's 3 best friends just couldn't understand why it was that. First of all, he lost everything. Him losing paid to them. And now everything else started happening. So Job said, alright, understand what you're saying, Nardia, but I still serve a risen king. Yes. He is able to bring me out of this. I am still trusting. And Nardia, you and I, we go way back from nappy days. I understand. We're going way back from nappy days, but at this time, I want you to step aside. Because though he slay me, yes. And I want you to listen to this. Job says, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Job went back to his best friend. Probably Rachel now said, no, Rachel just did it. And Tamara just did it and listened to the argument. between Nardia and Job. And Job go back to Nardia and say, I understand it, but where were you when I was going through my rough times? Where were you when my back was against the wall? As my best friend, there are just certain things I can tell you, because I don't know how you will judge me. So Nardia, I know the reason why God is putting me through this process. So in the meantime, while He's putting me through this process, I'm just going to brace for impact. That's what Job was saying to Nardia. Later down in the scriptures, nothing else was mentioned about the three best friends. Last point, number 4. Job found himself in a situation that I think one morning just wake up and just start scratch all over. And can't get no worse. The corner of them gone, because let me say, Job did a hot boy. Understand? And bald head and have on nothing. And of course, if he was wealthy, that means he had a beautiful wife. In my eyes, inside out, whatever. He was married.